Hi guys, this is Stan Payero for BlenderCookie.com, and today we're gonna do a chainmail armor, and particularly a hood, as you can see on the screen. So I have to admit, I'm not using a 100% accurate, physically accurate method, and the one I'm gonna show you is a little bit cheating, but the good part with this method is that it's very easy to set up and very quick. And at the end the result is pretty good, so it's what you can see on the screen right now. And the other good part is that we can use some close modifier to animate the whole chainmail, so I'm just playing right now. So I'm gonna show you that today. So basically what we're gonna do is to model the hood first, and then we're gonna play a little bit with the close modifier, and on top of that we're gonna add a particle system that's gonna create all our chainmail here. So I'm not gonna show you how to render today, but in the file that you can download, you're gonna find that on this bottom right layer here, you have all the lights, backdrop to make a nice render at the end. So I will explain at the end of the tutorial why I created all those geometry stuff to make the render, but I won't show you how to create this because I want to keep this tutorial short. So what we can do right now is you can open the start file, and we're gonna start from there. Okay guys, when you open the chainmail start.blend, you should see this support. So I created in advance because it's not very interesting to create this, but it's very simple. It's just a sphere elongated and 2 cylinders. If you don't want to download the source file, you can recreate it quite easily. So what we're gonna do first is to create the hood geometry, and the very important part to create this hood is to make sure that all your faces is gonna be the same size, or almost the same size. And this is because when we are going to create after the chainmail from the particle system, we want to make sure that all the links are going to be connecting all together, all the rings, and to make sure that this is going to happen, we need to directly from the beginning, when we are creating the hood, we need to make sure that all the faces are almost the same size. So to create the hood, you will guess that we will need, I will start from a UV sphere, but let me show you. If I had here a UV sphere, let me start the actually it's not very practical, because as you can see here, the size of all the faces are very different. If you, for example, if you look at the middle, the faces are quite big and very small here at the top and the bottom. So if we start with a UV sphere like that, and we want to unify the size of faces, we're going to end up with a problem, because it's going to be very hard to do that, particularly for the faces that are on the top here and the bottom. So instead of using a UV sphere, we're going to start with a cube. So I'm going to hit Shift A to add a cube here. And I'm going to hit Tab to go to edit mode, and hit then W to subdivide it. And we're going to subdivide first with 7 cuts. So here on your toolbar you have number of cuts, so you can increase that to 7. And then back in the viewport, we're going to hit W again and subdivide. And just 1 cut this time. So it's just because I want to control my number of vertices. So that's the way to do that. Then I'm going to hit W, and this time it's going to be to smooth. And we're going to type in number of time to smooth is going to be 100. And I'm going to do it twice, like that. So right now we have almost a sphere, and as you can see, the size of our faces are almost the same, just on the corner which is a little bit smaller. And we can succeed to have a perfect sphere if we go here to mesh and transform. There is an option called to sphere. So you can also hit Shift Alt S on your keyboard to have it. And as you can see here, as I increase this value here, I can have a sphere. So when this parameter is 1, we have a perfect sphere. So I'm going to type 1 to make sure that here now I have my sphere. But as you can see, I don't have the problem with the UV sphere. All my faces are almost the same size. I still have some faces that are smaller here on the corner, but that's going to be okay. Okay, so now I'm going to tab back to go to object mode, and I'm going to bring it up. Okay, and I want to make sure that it's a bit higher than the support head here. So I'm going to tab to go to edit mode again. I'm going to select the bottom vertices here, and I'm going to delete them. I'm going to select everything and hit smooth and recalculate. I'm going to select the edge loop on the bottom, and I'm going to hit O to bring my proportional editing. And I'm going to hit scale, to scale, and we're going to scale it up like that. We can bring it down a little bit. Then I'm going to hit E to extrude, and Z to extrude on the Z, and I'm going to bring it down around here, and then S to scale again. And I'm going to hit E to extrude on the Z axis again, and I'm going to bring it down around here, and I'm going to scale again. So I'm going to have this kind of helmet. Now I'm going to hit Ctrl R here and to bring more edge loops. And so basically I'm going to add enough edge loops to have the same size of faces. So 5 edge loop for the top part, and the bottom part I'm going to bring, let's see, something around 12, 11 is good. Like that. So now you can see that we have all the faces are almost the same size, so it's still what we want. I'm gonna select now, I'm gonna make the hole here for the head, so I'm gonna hit Z to change my view here. And so what we can do first is I'm gonna select this edge loop here and I'm gonna hit S to scale, so just to make a little just to make the hood follow the head a little bit more, but just a tiny bit like that. It's maybe even a bit too much, just like that. And now I'm gonna select, let's see, I want to make a hole that starts just at the cheek. So here under the, I'm gonna select all the vertices in the middle here that are up to this edge loop, this one. So let's see, this one, okay, so hit Z to go back, okay, so I'm gonna select all those vertices here, those ones too. Let's see, I need one more on the right here. So you can do, you can do whatever you want. But yeah, the hole doesn't have to be too big. Usually in the chainmail hoods, the hole is not that big. And so yes, don't forget to unselect the vertices on the back, and we're gonna hit X to delete the vertices, and that should look fun. I'm gonna hit Pom Z or Control Z actually, and I'm gonna just unselect those one on the bottom. And now it's a bit better. Yeah, like that, it's perfect. Okay, so select everything, it's smooth, and recalculate to make sure everything is nice. We're gonna rename it to hood, like that. I'm gonna select the support here, and I'm gonna hit Alt R to clear the rotation to make sure that there is no rotation on this head. And then I'm gonna select the hood, then the head, and I'm gonna hit Control P. And I want to parent the hood to the support because a little bit after we're gonna rotate the support to make a little animation. I'm gonna select the hood again. And now we're gonna add the close modifier, but before we do that, we're gonna create a vertex group with the top part of the hood here. So I'm gonna select all those vertices, and I'm gonna select this top part. So just Alt right click to unselect this the vertices that create the hole. So just select those vertices as you can see on the screen. And here on the vertex group panel here, I'm going to hit the little plus to add the vertex groups, and I'm going to name it pinning, and I'm going to hit assign to assign all those vertices. Now I'm going to tab back to go to object mode, and I'm going to go here to the physics panel. So this is a little icon with a ball bouncing here. And I'm going to hit the close button to add a close modifier. And the only things we need to do is to check pinning and select the vertex group we just created. So let me just verify. Did I assign? Yes. Okay. Just making sure. Okay. And so that's the only thing we need to tweak on those parameters. If you don't succeed to have the result for any reason, for example, if you're not doing a hood, if you're doing the chest part, for example, for the armor or another kind of geometry, and you end up having some problems, it should work right away, because the only thing that is important here on the close modifier is to make sure that you have the stiffness of your clothes is high enough. And that's the only thing you need to take care of. Basically, you don't want the clothes to be very elastic and deform too much. You want this to stay very stiff. So basically, if you have too much elongation, you need to come back here. And I'm not a specialist, so I know exactly which one to tweak. I will guess that the structural one probably an important one. But you need to tweak some of the parameters to make sure that it does not deform too much. When I say deform is you don't want the faces to be elongated. That's the only thing you need to do to take care. Okay, now right now if I scroll to the beginning of my timeline and I start to play this, so you're gonna see so it starts to deform. But as you can see, it's going through the support, and this is because we didn't add any collisions on the support. So we need to select the head, the support here, and again on the physics panel there is it's a collision button. So just click on this one, and again we don't need to tweak any of the parameters. So that's a good part. But if you have any problems again, you can, for example, depending on the scale of you can have a problem. For example, if the scale of your model is very small, you can end up seeing some problems like the clothes being very far from the collider. So if you have this kind of problem, you need to tweak those two parameters, outer and inner. So those two parameters are the ones that take care of the space between your clothes and your collider. So this is too big, you need to tweak those to make sure that you don't have problem. And if you still see some the clothes penetrating, for example the collider, again that's the two parameter you want to tweak to make it work. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back again at the beginning of the timeline, and if I hit play, So it's gonna be very slow because I'm recording, so my computer is start to run a bit crazy. But now you can see that the hood start to wrap around the support, so exactly what we want. So I'm not gonna let you wait like that. So what we're gonna do is we can actually bake all the animation here. But before we do that, what we're gonna do is give a little bit of rotation on our support, just to make it more appealing and have a little bit more of deformation on our hood. So we need first to give a little bit of time for the clothes to come to a kind of a rest position, and then we're gonna rotate very quickly the support, and that's gonna give a nice deformation for her hood. So I'm gonna go to frame 1 here on the timeline, and with my head support selected, I'm gonna hit right click to insert a keyframe here. Then I'm gonna go to frame 40 and again insert a keyframe here. In frame 52, I'm gonna type on the z-axis 45, and I'm gonna insert here a keyframe, and then I'm gonna go to frame 90 and insert a keyframe again. So basically, during the 41st frame, the hood's gonna just come to a rest. Then we're gonna have the rotation here, and then we're gonna have nice deformation of the hood. Okay, now that we have done that, what we can do is to bake all the physics now on our hood, like that. It's gonna be easier to play and scroll around. So with my hood selected, I'm gonna go to the physics panel here, and there is a close cache panel here. So the only thing you want to change is the hand frame, which is gonna be 90. And click on the free all blade just to make sure, just in case you have other bakes, just to make sure that it's clean now. And then we're gonna click on bake. So I'm gonna I'm gonna stop the recording, and I'm gonna catch you once it's finished. Okay guys, so now everything is baked. So you should see a dark blue line here on your timeline that indicates that your bake is finished. And if you start to scroll on your timeline here, you can see the animation. So if I play it, you can see that first the clothes stop to rest, and then we have the rotation that gives the nice deformation here. So the last things we need to create is the chainmail itself. So it's going to be actually a particle system applied on top of this clothes modifier, and the base particle is going to be a set of 2 rings. So we're going to create that. So I'm going to go to this bottom layer here, and I'm going to hit Shift-C to recenter my cursor, and we're going to add a torus here. And on the toolbar here, we're going to change the minor radius to 0.15, and we're going to change the major and minor segment to 8 for both of them, like that. It's just because I don't want to slow down the viewport too much, so I'm just starting with a few vertices at the beginning. Okay, so I'm gonna select my torus. We're gonna rename it chain here, and I'm gonna hit Tab to go to edit mode, and we're gonna rotate it on the x-axis to 90 degrees. And we're gonna hit Shift-D to duplicate this torus, and I'm gonna put it around here, and we're actually gonna put it on the one to the x-axis and one on the z-axis. Now I'm gonna go to the side view, and with my top ring selected like that, I'm gonna hit R to rotate it on the so on the x-axis isn't going to be 15, oh sorry, minus 15, like that. And then I'm going to select the bottom ring, and to do that I'm selecting just one vertices, and I'm going to hit Ctrl L, and that's going to select all the vertices that are linked together, like that. And I'm going to hit R and 15, like that. So now you can see that we have a set of 2 rings. That's going to be the base particle for the particle system. So I'm going to go back to this layer, the top one here, and I'm going to select the hood. And here you can go to the particle panel here. This is the little stars that we have here. I'm going to hit the plus button to add a particle system. And this particle system is going to be a air type. We're going to check advanced here. And on the emission, we want to select vertex, and uncheck random. And for the number, you want to have one particle for each vertex. So you need to know the number of vertex of your model, and that's pretty easy. If you actually select it, you have here the number of verteces, that are on your model. So it's 100. It's you have to go to edit mode. Sorry, and this is this number. So you have the number of so the way it's organized, you have the number of vertex, edge, and faces. And so the first number is the number of vertices you have selected, so 0 right now. If I select A, I select all my vertices, so 1785. And the total of vertices is obviously the one after. So you have 3,500 edges and 1,700 faces. But this is the number of vertices that are important for us. So we're going to type here on the number 1,785, like that. So then we're going to go so we don't need to apply any aerodynamics, so just leave it unchecked. For the velocity, we won't change anything. We don't need to. But you want to check rotation. And instead of velocity / air, we're going to select normals. So basically, just saying that we want the particles to face the normal in terms of rotation. Then we're going to go to render here. We're going to uncheck the emitter. So this option basically is if you want to render the actual geometry, I mean the actual faces of your model, you're going to want to check these options. But in our case, we just want the particles, so we're going to uncheck this one. We're going to select object here, and we're going to select chain. So you can see that we start to see our chainmail. So obviously the chains are way too big, so we're going to go to physics here, and we're going to instead of 0.05 on the size, we're going to type 0.014. We can start with that, and I think, if I remember well, that's the right value. So you may want to change this value to make sure that your main shell looks right. But right now, as you can see, it seems to be good. Okay. As I said before, it's not 100% physically accurate, and this is because typically if you go in some places where you have some deformation, you can see, for example, that this ring is not connecting to this one and to this one. So that's the kind of problem you can end up using this method. So if you're really doing, if you're doing a very close-up picture of your chainmail, you may want to apply the close modifier and then tweak a little bit the geometry to make sure that all your rings are connected all together. But if you're doing, if you're doing a render from here, for example, it's not going to be that much necessary because you are far enough to not notice those kind of problems. And if you're doing an animation, So you're gonna see even more problems, I guess. Yeah, like for example here, you can see that you have, I mean, all the rings are messed up right now. So you may want to check this regrow option, and that's gonna make sure that your rings are gonna be always facing the normals like that. So it's a bit better. So if you, I mean, even if you're not doing animation, just check regrowth. You're making sure that for each frame it's gonna be a bit better. It's gonna slow down a little bit more your computer, but that's okay. So not that much. So that's all for the particle system. If you still have some problem of connection that are very, very obvious, you may want to go back to your base particle and start to move the rings around to make sure that you have a good connection here. But right now it should be okay like that. So that's all for the particle system. So we can play it like that. I'm just anticipating the kind of problem you can have. For example, in the modifier panel here, if your particle system is on top and then the cloth, you may see some problems like that. So you want to make sure that the cloth is on the top. And that's pretty much all, guys. So the next step is just to make a nice render. So I already prepared all the lightings and camera to make the render, but we still need to do the material. So we're gonna do, I'm going to do that, create the material for the chain, and I'm also going to just explain quickly the lighting I set up. Okay, so let's do that now. Okay, guys, we are going to finish with a nice render. So the only thing, the only material we need to create is the material for the chains of the chainmail. And so if you basically in the particle system, when you're using an object as a particle, that means that you need to set up the materials on this object. So we need to set up the metal material on the chain. So I'm going to go to this layer here on the bottom left, and I'm going to select my chain, go to the material panel here, and we get a new material. We're going to call it chain. And this material is going to be very simple, just a mixture between a diffuse and a glossy. And so the color for the diffuse is going to be a dark gray, around like that. And for the glossy, it's going to be a light gray like this. For the roughness, for the glossy, just type .1. So we want something glossy, but not too much. Because if you look at the chain photo, picture of chainmails, you're going to see that it's not that shiny actually. So around .9 for the roughness is good enough. Okay, and as I told you at the beginning, I already set up all the lights and the backdrop and everything because I wanted this tutorial to really focus on how to do the chainmail and not really on how to do the render. But I'm still gonna explain quickly how I did the different stuff. So let me bring here the render I did. So so to do this nice gradient of light on the backdrop, I'm just using this plane very long like that and narrow, and with a very strong emission light that allow me to have this nice gradient here, and that's also allows work as a backlight. And as you can see here on the contour of my chainmail, I have a nice highlight here, so it's very handy to do that. To use this kind of light to do that. So the backdrop, there is only, the material is just diffused with a dark gray, so very, very simple. Here I have a fill light, so it's just to make sure that my shadows here and on the side and a bit on the top are not too strong. I could have put on the one another side maybe to highlights this, I mean, to light a little bit this part. But it's very, very subtle. As you can see, it's just an emission of 0.5. And those strange things on the other side here are a way to simulate spotlights. Because right now in Cycle, here you have the lamp, you have spot, but the spot is not included in Cycle for now. So it's probably gonna arrive sooner or later, but right now we don't have it. So a way to simulate a spotlight, you can make like so this kind of cylinders, and you just add a dark diffuse material on it, and each side you can see that I added one plane for each of the cylinders, and for those planes I created a very strong light. So you can see the strength is 50, so very, very strong light, and that's allow me to have a spotlight effect. I did 3 of them just to make sure that my shadows here, as you can see here on the bottom, are more soft. Are softer. If you just add one, you may end up with very sharp shadows. So that's why I put it 3 of them like that. And so I just added then a camera, and those 2 empties are trackers for make sure that my camera is pointing in that direction, and for the spotlight there is a light track also. But that's pretty much all. Pretty easy setup, guys. So now you can go here to the little camera here, and just change the samples as you want. I put 500 and 1000 for the samples. Should be good enough to have a clean render. So I'm gonna launch the render right now just to see everything is good, and everything seems to work properly. So and I'm gonna leave you there, guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any question, don't hesitate to post a comment on the bottom of the page, and I will answer as soon as I can. And I see you in the next tutorial. See you guys, bye.